everyone, and welcome to SBC Summit Latinoamerica 2023. We are here joined by our very dear guests, Growe CEO Anton Rublievskyi and Topchiy. Anton, how are you today?
I'm good.
Great to have you here. And just to get started, Growe is a pretty new company, founded just in 2019, right? So, but it has already set foot in key markets in the world like Africa, Asia, of course, Latin America. So why don't you take us through that growth from Growe since it was founded, and why don't you introduce the company to those that may not already know the company?
In 2019, there was investments to Parimatch International, previous name of Growe, and we started doing our international operations. I think the main important part that we decided as a part of our strategy is that we have a pure focus on emerging markets. Why emerging markets? Because we think that we are good in solving all the problems and providing solutions, especially for these markets. And of course, because of competition, because nobody is waiting us in tier one markets. There is a huge competition. There is a huge amount of regulations, and we don't feel that we will be able to deliver something unique to this market. So we decided that it will be emerging markets. We started from Asia, and I think during 2 years we were having like focus for a few Asian countries only, and whole company was like just one headquarter, one group of people that was focusing on only one market, two markets. We decided that for us it will be the best match to actually scale our operations across many continents and many countries. From Asia, we moved to Brazil. That was our second biggest market. We obtained some licenses in Africa, and now we see the big focus in Latin America. We're now in the process of launching new locations in LATAM.
And you were talking about Latin America and how you entered these markets here in Latin America. And the region is changing with new regulations coming into force in different countries. So how do you approach your entrance into these countries, considering how different they are from each other?
There are a lot of new regulations now in Latin America. Definitely everybody knows how fast it goes in Brazil. To be updated on all regulations everywhere in the markets that we're already operating or planning to operate, planning to enter, we're doing some local discovery investigation of all laws that are currently in development. We do participate in all possible round tables. We participate in different federations. I think after 2-3 countries in Latin America will be regulated, it will go much faster, because we see, let's say in Africa, that there are 2-3 countries that becoming like a golden standard for regulation. And then the rest of the countries, they're using the same software, same model of taxation, because they don't want, to go through this process again and again. So I think that definitely all the countries are different, but Colombia is one of the markets that was regulated, I think the first in Latin America. And now a lot of countries that now are trying to get through this process, they are looking into regulations of Colombia. But we are, as operator, always trying to have a dialogue with the government, with the regulation authorities. We always want to be heard, and we always want to give a feedback, because we're operating in many countries internationally, and we want, so it will be win-win for government and for operators, because in the end of the day, we're business, we want to make profit, but at the same time, of course, government wants to get taxes and regulation in place.
The stage is SBC Summit Latin America. Why don't you take us through why the company is here and what do you expect to achieve here?
We have already launched several countries in Latin America, and we see that our product has a nice market fit here. We are also passionate about football, as all the countries in Latin America, and we believe that's a very important region for us. So we're thinking about launching several more countries this year and at the beginning of the next year. So we're thinking about Colombia, we're thinking about Argentina, so we already started to research those countries, and I believe Latin America will be a huge success for us.
The world has its eyes on the emerging markets since the most developed ones have already a set of companies already established there. So with so many companies trying to make their way into these emerging markets, what's the X factor that Growe has that makes it, that gives it the edge over the competition?
It's always a combination of many factors. Usually it's like a stable platform, fast deposits, fast withdrawals, nice and friendly support. So it's like a combination of everything. So we prefer to be good at everything, and that's our X factor.
So Anton, you have already experienced success in different companies before Growe. So how does that impact the way you approach the company's strategies?
Actually, operations in international market and challenges that you are facing, how you actually solve these challenges, how you solve these problems, how you're going through. This is the biggest experience that I've got. I firstly met these challenges that I never even thought about. Like some people cannot read, but you need to adopt a product for people, even those people who cannot read. So there are many different challenges. And I think the main experience that I've got from my past companies is that you need to be as much local as possible. You need to understand the market. You need to understand the problems in the market. You need to live in this market to understand the problems of the people, to understand how you can reach your target audience. That's why now in Growe, I think the evolution of our company structure is small divisions, because small divisions, they have a pure focus on only one market, and that gives them opportunity, to have this 360 approach into this market, to be local as possible, to understand all the problems. So yeah, I think the main benefit from my past experience is that I had experience working in emerging markets before that.
And how do you expect your business to evolve in these emerging markets as they evolve with time and with new regulations coming into place?
Well, I believe that competition will be growing and growing, and that's a nice opportunity for us to improve our product, to improve our processes. And I believe that with the new regulations, everything will be okay for us, because adaptation is something we're really good at, and we'll be just adapting to any changes that will be on those markets.